Welcome, one and all, to whatever this. I don't know if I would really want to call it a podcast. 'Cause that makes it like too something.
Talkcast?
A what?
A talkcast? I'll turn off Zelda because it's going to distract me.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Sure. Talk. We can call this a talky cast. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I don't know any format with this. I've done actual podcasts before, and I don't know. They just seem weird, and everyone's got a podcast, and it's weird, or nobody's and everything. But I just like sharing information and whatnot. So a lot of this is going to be, I guess, nerd-esque focused on like video games and other shit, and basically whatever we're feeling, and just gonna nerd out for a little bit on what we're feeling.
Like that?
So, with it being the 15th, and Zelda just came out, obviously we're gonna talk about Zelda. And let me just start with, I don't like Zelda. I didn't like Breath of the Wild. And I love this new game.
It's really fun. Yeah.
It's so much fun. And
so, you didn't like Breath of the Wild?
No. I guess I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd say I didn't like it, but I was not compelled to play it. It was fine. I understand why people liked it, but something never clicked for me, and I just didn't play it. I put maybe like 10 hours into it.
I mean, you gave it a full try then, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like that's a big chunk of time.
Yeah, I would agree.
And this new one, just something is hitting different. And I don't know if it's the weapon infusing and the building, but the weapon infusing I love. Like, it's so much fun. Like, and I don't care that my weapons break, because I want them to break so I can clear up more room so I can build new weapons. And I'm just having a great time. And I think it broke the record for TTP. You know what that is?
No.
Oh, it is time to penis. There was literally penises like instantly. Like, I saw penises shooting fire and penises shooting water. Just everything.
There is a lot of options for shooting out of penises, that's for sure.
Yeah,
which is always an enjoyable aspect of any game, really. I mean, if there's penis content.
Yeah, honestly. I think I heard that term from like some show on Apple where they make video games and they're like, what's the TTP on that? They're like, what? And they're like, time to penis. Anyways, whereabouts are you? Spoiler free, of course.
Spoiler free. Well, there's not much to spoil because I'm not far into the quests at all. I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and I played a majority of all 3 days, I would say. So I probably put in, like, I don't really know, probably between 20 and 30 hours, somewhere in there. Because there was a lot of like downtime and like grocery shopping and all that crap too. But
yeah, that's a lot of time.
Yeah, and that 20 to 30 hours, I would probably... You do the tutorial island, you get out into the not tutorial island, and I did like the very first main quest, which gives you a useful item. And then from there, I didn't touch any quests. I literally just did shrines and explored and got all the towers. So I have like 40 shrines, and I have all the towers.
Damn.
But I've done no main story.
Okay, so technically story-wise, I think we're like the same, and I've maybe only put like 10 hours into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have like probably 7 or 8 hearts total, and then I have a full stamina wheel around my stamina wheel.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm like off tutorial island, and then I did the Hyrule Castle stuff, and then but I've been doing shrines and stuff, but I haven't done as many. I just what just stopped doing was I went to my first sky tower, and what I really like about this game too, and I know Breath of the Wild did this too. It's not anything new, but whatever. But it lets you do whatever you want for the most part. It's like you're gonna get killed if you go to this really hard area, but you can technically do it. So like I was just getting crushed, and then I really started to use the mechanics of the game, and like they were like, what are they called? Bogoblins, boblins,
Bokoblins,
bokoblins, yeah. And so they were killing me, but then they start throwing like explosive barrels at me, and I was like, oh, I could rewind time on that barrel and just send it right back to you, and it was a lot of fun. Or they pushed this big spike ball on me, and then I rewound it back up to them, and it was good times. And have you seen like the videos of like everyone just like literally crucifying the Korok guys?
Yeah, it's basically my entire TikTok page. It's just Zelda and Eurovision. It's just those two things. That's all I see.
Yeah, the best one I've seen so far was like literally some guys like literally put a Korok on a cross and made a wagon and were pulling it up on their horse. It's like, what's the most painful way we can like get these guys, these ungrateful bastards, to their friends?
Yeah, I've seen people like max out a plane with rockets and just shoot them off into space, or shoot them into the water.
I'm mad at myself because I missed the first one. I didn't realize you could pick them up and put them on stuff. So I like missed the very first one where you could like where he wants to meet his friends. So I got to go back and do all that shit.
There's a whole bunch of them. There's some that I'll like see them and they're on like another mountain, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. I want to go find another shrine. But I'll go do them eventually.
Yeah, I'm just really, I don't know. And it has like some FPS dips. It doesn't feel like as many as the first one though. It just feels smoother. I don't know. And some people are saying that.
Oh, I was gonna say it's a little surprising because I feel like there's more going on, especially with all the attachment stuff. Like there's so much more happening on the screen. There's so many more objects interacting with each other, but there's less slowdowns and frame stutters.
I think graphically it does kind of look a little more flatter though. To me anyways.
Also, it feels a little, and maybe it's just because I haven't played Breath of the Wild in a long time, but to me it feels a little more empty than Breath of the Wild did. Like there's less enemies maybe, but it could just be me. I haven't played in a while.
I mean, Breath of the Wild felt empty to me, but it's probably because like they have like a whole sky now, and they have like the whole like caves and shit, and there's just a lot more different stuff going on too. So
yeah, and I noticed too, just exploring, there's almost like, I wouldn't say as in-depth as Skyrim, like mini dungeons, but there's definitely like, you'll walk into a cave and it'll be like, ooh, new area discovered. And there'll be like a kind of like a Skyrim style mini dungeon. And that's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. I don't know. I've just eat my own words. I was talking shit about it, and I got some FOMO, and because like at the store I work at, we got 200 copies and they all sold out. And I was like, as they were like just flying off the shelf, I was like, let me go ahead and just buy one just in case. And yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know what Nintendo does, but every like major first party game, I feel like they just sell millions of copies. It's insane.
They definitely do, but like even like Mario Odyssey didn't sell like this.
True. Yeah.
Or like, yeah, I don't know. I think the last time I saw people in such a fervor for their game was probably the Breath of the Wild. But that came out with the Switch though, so I don't know. I didn't know what they were going for.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's another game where we couldn't keep it in stock. That was like major, not because it's not a lot of copies, but I mean, Smash was hard to find for like a week after it came out. That was about it. That's another Nintendo game, you know?
Yeah. There aren't like PlayStation or Xbox games that do that.
I think there's just so many people that buy digital.
That's true.
But I try to collect as much Nintendo stuff as I can. And weirdly enough, this is the one I didn't buy physical because I got that $100 game vouchers where you can get 2 games for $100. Because it was a $70 game and I want to get Advance Wars anyway. So for $100 instead of like 140, I got Advance Wars and Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom.
From where? From Nintendo?
Yeah, on the eShop, you can buy a voucher that's good for 1 year, it's $100, but you get 2 games.
Dang, that's pretty good. I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Do you like Advance Wars?
I love Advance Wars. I mean, they didn't really do anything new. It's basically just the first and second game from the Game Boy Advance remastered, and then
graphically it looks better.
Yeah, graphically they did this really cool thing where they made them look almost like toys, but then the maps themselves almost look like they take place in like a little drawer or like a little gaming cabinet. I don't know what you want to call it. Kind of like you're playing like a tabletop game, like a board game. It has like a box.
Oh.
So it almost looks like you're playing like a war tabletop game when you play it. It's really fun.
That is cool. I want to get that.
I'll
get it
super
eventually.
fun. If you're into Fire Emblem, it's made by the same people, but it's still turn-based and everything. But you have bases and you make characters kind of like Warcraft or Starcraft.
Yeah, I played the original ones.
Oh, okay.
Back on what was it? Game Boy Advance.
Yeah, Game Boy Advance. Yeah,
that's good stuff. What I forgot what I was gonna say. Dead air. We'll have to cut that.
Cut it out.
Oh, how have you been enjoying this season of Marvel Snap?
I like it better than last season.
Yeah.
Two seasons ago, I played so much trying to get to 100 that I kind of burned myself out, so I barely played last season. But this season's going a lot better. Because I skipped last season.
Oh no, I got to 90 something. Damn it.
Yeah. Because I skipped last season, I think I ended at like 55. So it even though I got to like 90 the season before, or maybe I got to 80. I think I got to 80 and it kicked me down to 50. And then I like only got up to like 56 and it kicked me down to like 20. So I worked my way from 20 back up to 64, and we're what, like halfway today, I think.
I like this season, but I'm not getting very far because I've been like only playing meme decks. And
we're a third of the way. Okay.
I get the most pleasure. I don't know if you've caught on to it yet, but there's a lot of like, since the game's been out a while and a lot of people have built their collection up, there's a lot of people running Galactus now. And I dumpster on them every single time because it's the most obvious shit ever. Because they'll either play Wolverine somewhere, and then either Electro will come out or Wave will come out. And I keep whatever deck I'm running, I'll either put Arrow in my deck or Shang-Chi, like all those. And like if I see those beginnings, and if someone like, or if they wave and I know the Galactus is coming, I'll throw the Arrow out and like move the Galactus over if I have the turn first, and then it literally does nothing. And it sucks getting the read like that though, because like then they just leave, so I hardly get any cubes. I'll get like 1 cube a match. It's just been taking forever.
From like 40 to 60, I've been playing Galactus.
Oh, so you're one of the ones I've been dumpstering on.
Yeah, but that's the thing that I see on the flip side as a Galactus player is I'll get Galactus out and people will just leave. So I'm only getting the max of 2. So it was a very slow climb. Or people would just screw me over after I snapped, and then I'd lose like 4.
I don't see. Yeah, I'll play against your Galactus. I'll dumpster on it.
See, what you need to do is if you know Galactus is coming and they snap back, and then arrow them, and then you'll get 4 points because you'll screw them
That is
over.
true. That is true. I'm playing too conservatively. I think they when I hit him with that arrow, but then the problem though is if I don't have priority, then the Galactus will still go off. But then that's why I have Shang-Chi, because then they'll put out null almost every time. And so if I go second, I'll just Shang-Chi all their shit. They'll do death and they'll do null.
I got screwed one time because I think I had Wolverine, and I waved with Galactus, but they played a Hobgoblin on my wave. So it gave null -8. So he came out and he was like 2 power. And I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Or no, I think he was -2. He was -2 power.
See, that's what you get. That's what you get. I'm glad.
I know my deck is just cancer and toxic, but gets me the wins.
It's not that bad, honestly. I'd rather play against Galactus just because for me it's easy, really easy to counter. It's the I don't know, other people. I'm playing this modified Doom wave combo where like I wave on turn 5, and depending on their deck, that almost guarantees that they can only play 1 card on turn 6. But then I'll have like She-Hulk, who goes down to a 2 if I wave on turn 5. So then I could play anything plus She-Hulk. So a lot of times I'll do either like Doom She-Hulk or Arrow She-Hulk, depending on what the situation calls for.
Smart. I think I might go back to a wave She-Hulk deck because I had a lot of fun with that. And I've been using Darkhawk, and it's good. There's like no true counters. I mean,
there is.
There is. Like you can play like Super Skrull and stuff, and that'll fuck you up really bad.
Enchantress or
Enchantress. They overbuffed Enchantress, so I'm glad they scaled her down a little bit. She's pretty broken.
I just brought her down by 1, which is still. I was still using her when she was only 4 power.
Yeah, Enchantress is good, and I have a really cool variant of hers.
I have a deck that I almost don't want to tell you because the next time we play, I want your like blind reaction to it.
Dude, I'm down. Maybe I'm gonna tell you this week at some point we can play.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you anyways. But I use Master Mold.
Ew. Why? Why do you? First of all, why do you own Master Mold? Why would you spend collector's tokens on him? I hope you pulled him.
6,000 tokens on him.
No,
it's my favorite deck. It's my favorite deck I've ever made because I almost always win from them quitting. It's so funny to me. So listen though, this is next level. You don't understand what I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
So, there's a lot of different variations to it, but the gist of it is you play Master Mold and Absorbing Man and various, and then like, so you can do, I do Zabu, Master Mold, Absorbing Man, Borg, Landslide, or Rock Slide, or whatever his name is, Black Widow. So all that shit you have, and you can't get rid of Sentinels. So you just end up, and Beast. So I'll bring like the Master Mold back. You literally have a handful of Sentinels, and you can't draw cards because you have so much shit in your hand. And then I start throwing rocks into your deck also. And then I play Ronin and Darkhawk because their power is based on your enemy's hand, which is just full of Sentinels.
Sounds like a really cool deck. So
it's super trolly, but
I feel like, is it Master Mold? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I feel like they brought him in too early, and he will be like actual meta good, maybe potentially broken, busted, depending on what card they add. When they inevitably add like the bounce mechanic, they already kind of have it in Falcon, where you put your 1-hand costs back in your hand. But I think like in Magic, how you have like the bounce effects where it leaves the battlefield and re-enters the battlefield, so you get the enter the battlefield effect again.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what I
they're
do with Beast.
yeah, like Beast and Falcon, they do it. But I think they should add a 6-drop or a 5-drop, probably a 6-drop, where I guess they kind of already do. What is it? What is that? What's the guy that replays on reveal effects?
Odin?
Yeah. Is it Odin? Yeah, Odin. I guess they kind of do have that already. They should do. I guess they should do an early drop one, maybe like a 3 or a
Beast.
4 drop with 0
Beast.
power. But it's just an Odin effect. I mean,
Oh.
Beast. Yeah, I guess is more fair.
Yeah, they have that. It's called Absorbing Man.
Yeah, you're right.
Absorbing Man duplicates.
I
Yeah,
guess.
so I do
Yeah,
Ronin,
I guess
Darkhawk.
the deck I'm thinking of is the deck you currently play. Never mind.
Yeah, I do Ronin, Darkhawk, and Mystique. So between those 3 cards, that's where my power is. So I don't give a shit. I just fill your hand with trash and then drop these heavy hitters wherever I need them. It's really funny.
You play
And, like,
debris too, or no?
No, I don't bother because I don't want shit on the board. I just want shit in your hand.
Yeah.
So I fill your hand, and then once you have 7 cards, I start filling your hand with rocks too. So then your card draws shit on top of the. If you don't play even if because a lot of people are like we're giving them sentinels. I don't care.
Right.
I'd rather their hand be full.
Plus, I mean, especially if you fill their hand up to 7, like if they're playing a deck that just dumps at the end of the game, like a Hitmonkey deck or something, or like a Sarah deck, if they're sitting on 7 cards, then they finally play one just so they can draw a card, and then you play Black Widow, like you could screw up multiple turns.
I mean, if they are playing like Hitmonkey and then they play Sarah, that's a lot of low-cost sentinels that they can drop for a Hitmonkey, but whatever. Usually, it's still going to fill their hand back up, and that's all Ronin and Darkhawk care about, so.
Yeah.
It's funny. I shouldn't have said anything, because then you would have been like, you just see the Master Mold come out, and you're like, why would you play this?
What he's going to be with this garbage card?
I like making my trash cards work. I really want to make Sheena work. I really like her card too.
They just buffed her too, I think.
I know, but the problem is everyone runs Killmonger, so it's just like so pointless to run like a 1 zoo deck.
Yeah,
it's so difficult.
I think Killmonger's not broken, but he's overplayed to the point where I think they could make him cost 4, and it would be better.
But yeah, and everyone's gonna run him though, because Patriot decks, if you go second on turn 6 and you're against a Patriot deck, you just play Killmonger and it kills all the little Ultron bots and you win.
So I've definitely lost like a double snap 8 points to people doing that.
Yeah, like I really want Sheena to be good. And then because the RNG is just too big with her, because like sometimes I'll play her and like Ebony Maw comes out and then now I can't play. Or like Blade comes out and kills one of my cards I need, and yeah, I just get decimated with Killmonger though. So I'll play her early on, but then since control decks are Sarah control decks are so popular right now, and almost every control deck runs Killmonger, so it's like pointless at this point. I've been having fun with Snap. I think it's a good game. It's pretty simple. It's fast. I just spend hours on it, and I'm excited for the new deck cards like the Master Evolution. Oh shit! I've been petting my cat this entire time, and I forgot she just got treated for fleas. So now my hand's probably covered in this shit. God damn it!
I want to wash your hands before you touch your face.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that. Fuck. Oh well. Anyways, the Master Evolutionary is going to make like all the normal cards have new abilities, so that will really change some things out.
Yeah, I'm saving up my tokens for him. Or who's the other one? There's another one coming out which it takes your power at all 3 locations and divides it by 3 and splits it up between the 3 of them. I think that card's going to be nuts.
That's weird.
Yeah, because then you could all in on one location and then drop him turn 6 or whatever, and then all of a sudden it splits it between all 3. So you got like 100 power, it would split it to like 33 on each one.
All right, hold that thought. I'm gonna wash my hand.
Okay. Keep yawning.
I fucking forgot about that shit. But yeah, sometimes I wish that we're like, it was like more like Magic, where like it wasn't timed by turns, because I have like combos I want to build and I can't. But I guess that's the point of the game, is just luck of the draw.
True. Yeah.
A Gambit gun.
Gambit gun's nutty.
It's
Power
funny.
the Duck is dropping soon. Tomorrow, tonight at 8, I think.
What does he do?
You can tap him and you get to see whatever card is on top of your deck. He's a 1-drop, 2 power.
See, they're adding cards that make it, you want it to be like Magic. Because in like Iron Lad, to like hire the deck with Iron Lad, because then you can see what ability he's going to have, so it's less random.
Yeah,
That's
part
cool.
of me wants to get Iron Lad just because I feel like he can be good, but I think the new guys coming out are going to be better.
I think so too.
But I don't think they're coming out till next season, so it's a while off.
Like I would like the new dinosaur guy. But he's
Stegron.
not. Yeah, because I got trolled around with him. Oh, I've seen some really trolly Professor X Jeff the Shark builds.
Jeff the Shark seems really good. I really want to get him because I think he's probably one of the better 2-drops in the whole game. But
Yeah.
I can't justify spending 6,000 tokens on him.
Yeah, that's a lot. When you could get Master Mold.
I'm gonna wait for him to be Series 3, I think, and get him for free.
Master Mold?
He'll be Series 3 before you know it.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. I already have him.
True.
You're like, why'd you get that card? You'll see. I'm gonna play you and you'll understand.
Wait, we're all... Oh. Tonight's patch? I think they're giving everybody Kitty Pryde. That would be nuts.
Oh yeah, because they took her out of the game. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, all players will receive the rework Kitty Pryde for free. Oh, that's exciting, because I've been wanting that card for a while.
What did she do? And what does she do now?
She's a 1-drop, 0 power, but you can return her to your hand. They changed her. She returns to your hand at the start of each turn, and every time she goes back to your hand, she gets 2 power.
Kitty Pryde with like Angela or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be just. Oh man, that's gonna be nuts. Yeah, Zoo might come back with Kitty Pryde.
Or Kitty Pryde. Like Kitty Pryde and Angela and Bishop. You just always have a 1-drop to power up
Not
Bishop.
every turn, just chunking them out. Too bad they nerfed. What's the one that makes stuff cost 1 less? I guess Sarah's always been 1 less. Can't go under 0 or can't go under 1. I was thinking of Quinjet, but I don't think that counts for Quinjet.
Why not? It's returning to your hand.
True, that card didn't start in your deck. I don't know. It depends on how it's worded or coded. Yeah, I guess her old ability, you would choose when to put her back in your hand. You can put her back in your hand 1 time per match. And when you put her back in her hand, she became like a 4 power or 3 power or something. but the mechanic of putting a card back in your hand at any point in time like broke the game, so they reworked her into this, I guess.
The new one seems better, honestly.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, High Evolutionary seems cool.
Yeah,
And like it's
I'm
like
excited for that one.
Patriot, but on turn 4.
Yeah, Master Mold.
I don't
Master
remember
Mold
the
was
guy
also really
that's-
popular when Helidecks were popular because you just fill their hands with garbage for them to discard.
I think she is still a really good card, but you need like a combo deck to really get her off, and you need a
Who?
discard deck. Hela, Hella, whatever you want to call her.
Oh,
The
yeah.
downside is you're playing a discard deck with a card you don't want to discard, or it screws over your deck. So it's like it's so risky to play it.
Yeah.
At
I
least
lose
in
to
Snap,
her all the time.
yeah. Oh yeah. If they drop her turn 6, it's like a lot. At least in
Yeah.
Snap, because of the way the rank system works, you can play high risk, high reward decks, and just leave at 1 point loss. It's just not fun to leave 40% of your matches. You can still climb, but you're constantly
Yeah.
leaving.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think we were going to talk about Snap that much.
Yeah, this kind of turned into a Marvel Snap talk cast instead of a
Well, it's
Zelda
kind of
one.
hard to talk about Zelda like in depth because like everyone's just doing their own thing, like all that stuff. So
Maybe we can do Zelda updates. We can talk about where we're at. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a dungeon this week at some point.
nice, like one of
I'm
the
gonna-
big ones.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to work my way into one. I can not get distracted by something on the side of the road for 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's how it happens. All right, well, I'm gonna hit you with some. I'm really into Warhammer, and
Yeah.
I just bought some Adeptus Sororitas or Sisters of Battle. So I now have a Death Guard army. I have Green or Orc army now, and now I have a Sisters of Battle army now too. Well, that Sisters of Battle's not done, but I got a lot of them, and I have issues. And the 10th edition of Warhammer is coming out soon. And
Like a D&D handbook upgrade.
yeah, like a new rule set.
Gotcha.
We'll have
How
to put on
often do they do that?
Tabletop Sim. How often?
yeah.
I don't know. When did 9 come out?
Because Warhammer's been around since at least the 90s, right?
It's been around since the 80s.
Oh, wow. Okay. When did 40K come out? Was that the 90s? That seems like a 90s thing.
9th edition was released in 2020, so 3 years.
Oh, okay. So they change it up every once in a while.
Yeah. And they're constantly trying to bring in new players because for obvious reasons they want to they want to still sell stuff. So a lot of people are worried that they're dumbing it down too much, but I think they're making decent rule changes to make things less like overbearing and archaic, kind of, you know.
I mean, that's good. That makes sense. I remember when I learned D&D on 3.5, and then 4 came out, which 4 sucks, but whatever. At the time, people were like, "This is dumbed down, stupid," blah 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 blah. And I still love 3.5 because I learned on it, which is kind of similar to like Pathfinder, because I know you played Pathfinder. But
Yeah.
I think they're both good for their own reasons. Plus, the old one's still there. If you want to go play the old one, you can always play the old one.
Yeah. And like what I'm excited about with 10th edition, I don't care about the rules. They changed, that's fine. I'm just excited for new models. I like new models to build. So I've been
the original came out in 83, and then 40K came out in 87. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah.
But I thought that was interesting.
they're re-releasing the old world, which some people hate, but I mean, I'm glad they are because a lot of people still play it today.
Like fantasy.
Just fantasy, yeah. They're re-releasing fantasy.
See, I like fantasy more than I like 40K, honestly.
Uh, Setting wise, I think I agree with you, but play style wise, if you actually played, I don't. It just depends. I think I like the play style of 40K better because fantasy is more moving in like squads, which you do in 40K, but it's a little more loose, if that makes any sense. So you're not
Yeah,
moving like walls of swordsmen, you know.
right. That makes sense.
And I think 40K has more like individual units that you can like move and stuff. I mean, fantasy does too, but it's different. But they may make the new fantasy try to be more like 40K, so who knows?
I
'Cause you
do
can
like
do
a
like
lot of like the factions in 40K. I think that's cool. Like they have a lot of flavor and they're really unique. Like the rat god and like the pestilence stuff and like the zombie people and there's
in
just a lot of
40K.
cool characters. Yeah, they're in 40K, right?
Oh well, I mean, don't worry, because all of those that you just listed are in fantasy also.
Oh, all right, then yeah, I just like fantasy more. I don't know. I just like I like a high fantasy setting more than I like a science fiction setting. I guess is what it really boils down to. That's just personal preference.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's not a whole lot different. It's just slightly different flavor because like 40K, all the demons in 40K are the same in fantasy because all the demons use like melee weapons and shit, so it transfers perfectly to fantasy. So it doesn't really matter. The main thing is just guns. Honestly, obviously there's more melee combat in fantasy.
Yeah.
The lore is I would argue that the lore is stupider in 40K because they just do crazy shit. Which brings us to what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to give you some real crazy lore. So, like, I found some things that I just kind of found weird, like contradicting of themselves, which happens all the time.
Yeah.
But, like, so, you know, there's chaos gods in Warhammer. Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, and Slaanesh. And Slaanesh, being the newest or youngest god, was created the pleasures and desires of the Eldar. So I always thought it was weird that, like, I guess it makes sense, but like a god that is all about like being devious, like known for tricking and being lustful. I don't know. I always thought it was weird that they were created out of. I guess now I'm thinking about it, it kind of makes sense because like if they were just enjoying life too much. Okay, well, never mind. That one makes sense.
I was gonna say it sounds like some kind of like Hellraiser god.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
sounds cool.
It kind of
Hellraiser
is
cool.
where they are excess in pain.
Well, that makes me want to look into 40K more.
Yeah, no, so that's just cool. So the Emperor. So the Space Marines are essentially the story of Jesus Christ. You have the God Emperor, or the Emperor. He's your Jesus. And then he has a bunch of children, which are like the apostles. And they're the different factions of Space Marines. And then one of his children betrayed him and essentially killed him. So basically he's Jesus, right? Well, if he's the God Emperor, how did he not foresee one of his children betraying him?
Valid point.
Yeah. The orcs' entire 40K lore makes me laugh because the orcs were essentially created to fight off I believe it was the Necrons, which is another faction. And they are so stupid, but their psychic powers are so good. Like they're arguably the best in the universe.
Are those the undead guys?
No, the orcs. They're just orcs.
Oh, okay. Wait,
The
who are the
orcs have like
Necrons?
some of the best. Well, they were created to defeat the Necrons. So
Oh, got it.
the orcs are technically a fungus. They like repopulate wherever they step. They like create mushrooms that then grow into orcs.
Amazing.
And their psychic abilities are so strong that whatever they believe to be true is true. So, if the orcs paint a car red because they believe that red makes it go faster, it will literally go faster. There is lore of a battle between Space Marines and orcs where the Space Marines ran out of ammo, but they made the orcs think that they had ammo. So, but because the orcs thought they had ammo, the orcs created projectiles that were killing them.
That's
So
amazing. That
that
seems really broken, but fair because I'm assuming orcs are pretty dumb, right?
yeah, they're really stupid. They don't understand the power that they have. So most people don't like orc weaponry. Like is believed to not even be real. They just pick up a stick and they're like, "This is a gun," and it turns into a gun kind of thing. But that's why
That's
it's really
really cool.
shitty, and it just like breaks sometimes.
So that's why all these dumb guys are running around with like spaceships and stuff.
Yeah, that's how orcs have spaceships and stuff because they just put a bunch of scrap together and like it's a spaceship, and then it's a spaceship.
That's beautiful.
Literally anything they believe, that's
So
what's real.
they are the strongest if they could harness that power. Like if you could keep their morale high enough and make them intelligent, somebody should be building them a school. That's what the orcs need.
Well, a lot of people will argue that eventually the orcs will take over the entire 40k universe, but there's so much infighting with them that if they don't like fight enough, they'll just start fighting each other. So they're very like cannibalistic too. So
They're the strongest, but they could potentially just kill each other.
yes, pretty much. All
Wow.
right. The Adeptus Mechanicus is a race of people who believe in like machinery. Like that's their like the machine spirit. They believe in a machine god kind of thing. Yeah, and they're super advanced, and they uh like augment themselves with like cybernetic implants and all this crazy stuff. Um, but their vehicles are like ancient. Like they're actually not like they're great mechanics, but they're almost like Jesus mechanics, and they think it's like sacrilege to like make something else, like make a new version of this vehicle because this vehicle was created by the machine spirit, so it's perfect. So you can't upgrade it. So like a lot of their vehicles are just actually kind of like in the 40k universe, you have these giant like not planet-sized titans, but these huge fucking mechs and that just obliterate things. And then the faction that's all about machines just has like stupid little land speeders and like weird like lost in space robots and stuff. But because they're holy figures, they can't like desecrate them or anything. And I don't know. I always thought that was it's kind of a weird quirk about them.
Yeah,
Like
every time I
they don't.
learn about more 40k stuff, it's just so interesting to me because I feel like it's so like the character developments are like so thought out. Like everybody has like a big weakness and a big strength.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they definitely do. um, the Codex. Let's see. There's the Codex Astartes, which is like the holy Bible for like Space Marines and shit. And there's like weird things in there where like committing genocide is fine, but like using a jetpack off a vehicle is like considered forsaken. It's like, all right. So they have really weird focuses on that.
Like a chaotic neutral paladin or something.
Yeah. Um, that's kind of just some small things. I'm gonna do. I think in the future, I think it'd be fun if we did like a true or false lore. Like, I want to give you some lore, and you just say if it's true or false, kind of thing.
I'm very much down.
Like lore wise, technically, cat girls are a thing in 40K.
And I love 40K now. That's a sealed deal.
Yeah, they're like genetically augmented or some shit, and they have like crazy claws, and they like fuck shit up and stuff. And they're technically part of the Space Marine faction, if I'm remembering correctly too. And I've seen people make like custom Space Marine armies that have cat girl heads.
That's what I would play.
When I finished building my new Sisters of Battle, I don't know if you've ever seen them, but they're basically like nuns with machine guns.
I have seen them in Marvel Comics. That's it.
They had a set come out.
Yeah, I bought the number 1 of that in case it ever went up. Probably didn't, but I have it.
I think the number 1 is fine. Because yeah, a lot of people like Warhammer, so having a number 1 that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, whenever they do Warhammer, whenever they do Magic, I'll usually get the number 1s for those.
Yeah, same. Oh, one last one to go on. The only way to like fast travel for humans, anyways, to like super speed, is they have to go through the warp. I don't know the exact number, but in order to even activate the warp, they have to like sacrifice like 40,000 humans.
That way it's called
Every
40K.
time they jump. It's not 40, it's some obscene number though. But also the Chaos Gods like are in the warp. So like every time they jump, there's like a chance that they can get like possessed by like the Chaos Gods or get invaded by like Chaos Demons and stuff.
That's amazing. See, if you would have asked me that in the true or false, I would have said that's definitely false.
Oh, here's my favorite one, and I won't do this in true or false, but I think it's funny. So the God Emperor is so he was betrayed by his son and a few other sons. So that's where Chaos Space Marines come from. And they killed him. They didn't kill him, they wounded him. He has a life-threatening wound. And the Space Marines are doing, they have to also sacrifice a lot of souls every day to keep him alive. But
every day. But
if he dies, he would be resurrected to his full strength. So the Space Marines in turn are making themselves weaker by keeping him alive, but if they just let him die, he would be fully reborn as he was.
Huh.
Yeah.
So the Space Marines like stole him and they're keeping him alive, so the Chaos Space Marines
No. So the God Emperor is their father. So I think there's 13 Space Marine factions, and he created what are called a Primarch, or his son. He had 13 sons that were all like cloned from his DNA, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're the 13 factions of Space Marines. And then one of those factions betrayed him and brought other ones. So like the main army I play, the Death Guard, which are like the zombie Space Marines, they were one of the factions that betrayed the Emperor. And so during the big battle, the Emperor was wounded mortally, and the good Space Marines do everything they can to keep him alive. He's basically on life support. He's in an iron lung. I mean, technically he's like decayed into a skeleton, but he's technically still alive. But in lore-wise, if they just let him die, he would be reborn and be good as new, able to fight and do all that stuff. But they don't know that, so like they're just perpetually keeping him a corpse, essentially. There's like hints that there's going to be a new Chaos God, and part of me really wants it to be the Emperor. Like, he was technically a bad guy that it's like he gets corrupted into a chaos god because like he's like mad that they're keeping him alive or some shit. I have hopes for that.
That'd be really cool.
It'd be funny to me because like throughout all of 40K, and if you've ever played a 40K game, you've probably heard like purge the heretic for the Emperor, and it turns out he was the main. He was a chaos god himself. Yeah, because like they're all the like storybooks are talking about this guy called the Black King, and some people, myself included, think the Emperor is the Black King.
Love that twist.
Yeah, what a twist.
But then would he kill himself? Why wouldn't he kill himself at that point?
Well, he has no choice because he's like wounded. But like,
oh, gotcha.
I think that like some of the other chaos. Well, no, they probably won't because the chaos gods don't like each other, even though they're all chaos. They don't work together. Anyways, I'm gonna dig up some real weird lore for you, and then you can guess what it is. But it's pretty wacky. I got some good ones already thought up. That's all I got.
That's all I got. And I got a kitty.
I had a cat too, but then she had medicine all over, so I forgot about that. All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna edit this, and it's gonna be wacky, crazy fun, and we'll do this, and I don't know, every other week, once a month, whatever we decide. Who knows? We'll see.
Figure it out. We'll have a Zelda update soon.
Yeah, we'll definitely have that, and I'm still gonna do some packs and stuff, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some packs probably tonight.
Yeah, I got a lot of magic and stuff I gotta go through. I made a pretty funny magic deck where like I think it's called Crumple Spell, where you counter a spell and then it puts it into the bottom of your opponent's deck. And then I think it's called Tunnel Vision, where I then name a card in your deck and you discard till you hit that card.
Ew.
So I'm sure you can feel where this is going, but your card goes to the bottom and then I name it and then you discard your whole deck.
It's evil. I love it.
Yeah.
I love mill decks. They're just funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, well, thanks for... this went on way longer than I thought it was going to be, but hey, Marvel Snap, man.
Marvel Snap takes over your life.
Snap. Yeah. All right, well, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Bye.
All right. Okay, bye.